Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Elm City Lit Fest podcast. I'm Ife Michelle Gardine, founder of Elm City Lit Fest. Elm City Lit Fest is a celebration of literature, literary arts, and literary artists of the African diaspora. Tonight, I am on with my coordinator in, in crime, coordinator in celebration, Sha McAllister. Hey, Sha.
Hello. I'm so excited to be back on the podcast.
And tonight we are bringing Black girls in our sunshine. Creator, poetess, and all around Black girl magicness. We welcome poet Sun Queen with us. Yay! Hey, hey, Sun.
Ife out here making up words. I love it. That's what we do on Sundays.
That's what we do on Sundays. And we had a beautiful day. Y'all did a great job. So like I would read her bio, but Sun is so many things. She's born and raised in New Haven, Connecticut. She is one of the co-founders of the Black Lives Movement in New Haven. Oh man, she's written um, uh, this a poetry book in the journal and more to come. And she is the creator of We Are All Wearing the Product. And Shaw has a bag too.
I sure do.
Black girls are sunshine. Hey,
Yes, we are everything.
absolutely. Shaw.
So, I think you're everything.
I
That's
think you are
under.
everything.
We're
I
not.
think we all are everything. We just embody so much.
That is true. But right now, I'm talking about you.
I am a reflection of you, but let's go.
Ah! That was a good one. That was a good one.
But
I just.
before we start, I'm sorry. Son,
Yeah.
where did the idea that the concept of the sun come from?
Feeling like um I am bright, I am light, I do encompass so many things, and energy and light is everything. And so what other way to express and describe myself than to correlate my being with the sun?
All right.
That is direct. So what? First of all, I want to tell you thank you. It just came to me. I feel like you do a lot of work. You put a lot of energy and effort into this community, into your work, and I personally don't feel like you get enough. Thank you. Like, thank you,
Thank you.
son. Thank you, son the poet, son the artist, son the activist. That just came to me. Like, tell son thank you. But I
I
never want you
appreciate
to
that.
feel unappreciated in this community because bro, you're it. You show up for everywhere and anybody doing everything. Whether it's not front line, back line, you don't have to always be seen in the work that you do. So you are
Absolutely.
appreciated and you're cherished. I
Thank you.
wanted
I appreciate that.
I wanted to ask you what led you to write the journal that we have. Let your sun shine. Let your light shine through. An affirmation journal.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, right, we're currently dealing with the twin pandemics, COVID and racism, and I don't know about anybody else, but I've been working from home during this pandemic, and it has been difficult for me. Um, and so I was like, you know what? It's time to work on my journal. And I talk about a lot of self care and just thinking and different things in the collection of poetry book. And so, what better way to follow up with a journal? I'm telling you to, take time out for yourself, and just having a place and space to be safe, to be creative, to unpack. And so, what better way to do that than to have a journal? Um, and also, right, therapy can be costly. And so, if you're in the process of getting a therapist or you just need someone to talk to, um, you can keep it all here in this journal, and get in touch and contact with your emotions and be able to process things and just release. And so I felt like the journal was a good follow-up to the collection of poetry.
I also think because journals, like I got a collection of journals, and I want everybody to see this. Get your journal, get your journal. But like you said, a lot of people can't afford therapy, but also some people may be able to afford therapy, but are
Hmm.
not um, open to talking to someone about it.
Mm,
And writing it down is a sure enough way to
yes.
at least get it out there in the world, because we hold so much.
Mm,
Um, even, I mean, just this week, that verdict that I ain't even, I'm not saying nobody's name, not
hmm.
trying to just carry that in, but
Hmm.
that's trauma
Hmm.
for us as Black people, serious trauma. So the more that we have, and you have like dynamic prompts in here to just get people motivated, and to stay, because as Black people as well, we have to find ways to preserve ourselves and our energy,
Hmm.
right? The self
There's
preservation.
there's one prompt that I wanted to talk about that kind of speaks to what you're saying. Um, it goes, darkness became the driving force of me, igniting my light, therefore I will shine. And I think
Hmm.
there's a lot of darkness everywhere. And this
Hmm.
darkness can be consuming. But I
Hmm.
love how you're charging folks to take that darkness and kind of do like a Dragon Ball Z Kame Kame Khan and like give it right back. Hello, and let that darkness be a light and be your
Hmm.
charging light, a fire
Hmm.
under your feet. What made you put that prompt a part of your other prompts?
Um, because right, we are talking about light. However, light comes from darkness, so it comes from the trauma and the pain and the bad thinking and experiences that we encounter that made us feel uncomfortable and different things like that. But let's not stay there. Let's call in that joy. Let's call in that happiness. And so I was here before. I was in darkness, but I didn't stay in my darkness. I was able to take steps to then get into the world in my light, you know?
I love
one
it.
one that stands out for me is, I will protect my light emotionally and spiritually.
Mm,
Okay, let's talk about some boundaries.
mm-hmm.
Let's talk about, like, there, like, as you said, as Shah said, you do a lot in the community, and there are times when I'm sure you got to retreat and protect your light and recharge. I always say we have to recharge and rejuvenate. We have
Mm-hmm.
to, like, everybody ain't always got to be on, and also learn how to say no. So,
Yes. Yes.
because you can't do it all.
Mhm.
So,
And saying no is a part of your self-care, and it's a right, oftentimes when I used to, I'm always used to saying, yes, I'll do it. I'll try to find a way to do it. And then when I started, really committing to self care, I'm like, wait, sis, no, and not feeling bad about it. because I have to protect my peace and my energy. And if I keep saying yes, I'm not going to have, any energy for myself. And if I don't have any energy for myself, I can't give it to you. And I want to show up, in my full self as whole sun, not, half the sun, the moon, I want to be sun, I want to be full light. And so, saying no is okay. And it definitely, and that's the balance, right? Yes and no. That's balance.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an option on every question. Every time someone asks you something, it doesn't have to be yes. There's a no on on that as well. It can go left and it can go
Hmm.
right. Right is the yes and left is the no. And that's okay. Because if we continue to say yes to everything, then you find yourself running around like a chicken with your head cut off. Then you're just tired and you don't want to do anything. Speaking from experience, I think
Hmm.
we used to have a yes, 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 because we're committed, but you have to guard your, as you said, your energy, because people will exhaust you. People will pull stuff from you that they won't do themselves. But
Hmm.
they'll be like, oh, I can call Ife to do it, or I can call Sun to do it. When are you gonna do it?
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. People will take, 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 and right, they're not even investing or pouring into you sometimes, but they just want to keep withdrawing from you. And it's like, I need some more put into this account. And so, right now I'm going to breathe. I'm going to drink some tea. I'm going to take a nap. So, no.
Right, and that kind of goes into the other prompt I wanted to let folks know that's in here. It goes, it is my duty to check in with myself, because that this
Mm-hmm.
directly speaks to what you just said. You have to be in tune with your star player all the time. To
Mm-hmm.
quote Cat Williams, like you have to constantly check in with yourself. Like, okay, where
Mm-hmm.
are we at today? Are we tired? Are we hungry? Do we want to be here? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
have alarms set on my phone at different times of the day to be like, okay, what's up? Like, what are you doing? Because if you don't continuously, like a car, it needs maintenance. You need maintenance.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I also
Absolutely.
want another prompt from me. I will not allow the darkness of others to dim my light. And
That's
on that
real.
note, because like you said, Shah, people will ask you over and because they know who to go to do it. And there are times when people will not tap into their own energy or their own power because they know somebody else will do it. And in doing something like saying no to them forces them to have to do it if they want to get something done. Like if you want to get it done, it ain't always one person that can do it. And we all
Mm-hmm.
and we have to understand too that we need a team. Like I'd
Mm-hmm.
be the first one to say I need some help. Hey, 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 help me. Like and I had to learn that though. Because as black women,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Talk about it.
'cause I stopped saying I'm that strong black woman because no,
Mm-hmm.
because there are times when I'm crying,
Mm-hmm.
I'm mad, I'm sad, I
Mm-hmm.
want to retreat. As much of an extrovert I am, I like the company of myself, but I also need some inward time. And journaling, y'all, is a way.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you, for me, reading and journaling is a way. So this is a gem, gem, gem.
Right.
People
And
gotta.
if you're typing it, is there are folks who type, their notes, they journal that way. But I think
Mm-hmm.
there's something divine about having
That
your
pen
body
to
and
the
your
paper.
energy touch the pen. Because if you're writing it out, it's a
Mm-hmm.
direct release, like paper
Mm-hmm.
to pen. What they say, write it and make it plain. Because it all can't be in here. If it's
Mm-hmm.
stuck in here, it'll manifest into different things in here, whether it's stress, maybe even illness. So it has to come out of here
Mm-hmm.
and go somewhere else.
Absolutely. And then also, I think I might have wrote that in here. If not, it was a post, but um, that pen to paper, right? It's also adding the power to the pen, to the paper, and to your manifestations. And so, like, I also do notes and journaling in my phone as well. But for me, it's like I don't know, the power of the pen to the paper, and then also going back to read it and putting those things out into the universe, and calling them in and calling them out. It's a beautiful process for me to journal. And it's also, we were talking about therapy earlier. It's also I guess like a homework assignment that therapists give, their clients to do, to journal.
Yes, and I want to shout out to another one. Now that we giving the whole book away, because you got to get this book so you can write.
Listen, it's the prompts for me.
Look, there's sunflowers on every page. There's more than enough writing space. The lines aren't small together. You got enough space if you write big. If you want to write it in bubble letters, you could do all of that.
Even if you
Just,
want to create something, if you want to
mhm.
write circles and hearts and whatever you want to create on the page, it is there for you to do it.
If you want to do, the holiday season is coming up. What person in your life did you
Back
want
in
to give this to?
suffer.
Or wait, or a
A
sweatshirt,
hoodie, a
or
shirt, a
hoodie.
long
Yes.
sleeve shirt.
Come
There's
on now.
shorts. There's everything. Come on,
Oh,
shop
I have some
local.
sweatsuits that's dropping soon. They coming.
Okay.
Love sweatsuits.
Wait, I want to get back on. Okay, this one other one. I will extend grace to myself and those around me.
Mm,
Again, black women who are harder on yourself than anybody,
mm-hmm,
than anybody. We have to allow ourselves to some grace. We are not going to succeed in everything. There are times when we may fail, and there is lessons to be learned in that. I don't want to sound like this a cliche or like I'm trying to be Oprah. Nah, I'm not trying to be Oprah.
it's real.
This is from my black ass for real. I'm still working on forgiving myself for some things that's happening in my life.
Mm,
So this is a constant. And when I tell you getting this journal, and it was just because, like I said, I have collection of journals. It don't take nothing for me to get a journal, but I was so thrilled when
mm.
this came out. And son, how did you come? How did the prompts come to you? And how long was this process?
You know what? Honestly, this process wasn't long at all. I'm a leap kid, and so we started our leap sessions daily with, positive affirmations. And I that's just what I do, like affirmations to start the day and everything. So this process, it wasn't that long, and being a organizer, activist, and published author and all those things, like these are some of the things I need to remind myself and tell myself, and I'm pretty sure other folks as well, right? Need to be reminded that they are sunshine and that you deserve to heal. And so, we're doing so much work in the community. I see how we are feeling and how we are processing and things. So it's like, I honestly, I probably mm, maybe a couple of days, honestly. Like, I mean, getting the journal together was more of a process than actually coming up with the prompts, because like, right, like I'm in these streets, like, I know. So the prompts was just, and just, social media. I sometimes look at it and be like, yo, I wish, this person had a journal, or, spent more time journaling. And so, yeah, some of these prompts definitely was things that I need to remind myself, things that I need to tell myself. And then also just, being in conversation and being around people all the time. It's like, this is the word you need today to, remind you that you're doing the best that you can. And just to uplift and empower and motivate folks. So yeah, getting the affirmations together wasn't the hard part. It was the editing and actually, getting a whole journal together.
How about the order of the the prompts? Was there a particular order that did you were trying to find?
Yes. Um, so I wrote them all out, and then as I was reading them, I sent them to my editor, and I was like, "Mm-mm, I need this to go here, right?" Because we start off with I am sunshine, then it's like, boom, you are light and you are all the things. But also, too, you deserve the space to heal. And I also want you to go into this journal, working and committing to your healing process, not to neglect yourself. So yeah, the order I definitely was specific to and feeling like, okay, now that, I am calm and, I need to find balance and all those things, then it's second rate. So I have balance, and then it's like, okay, but then next, right, I'm going to choose love and light from myself so my light can flow, throughout the day. And so, yeah, the order, I try to be as intentional as possible for the order. It works for me. I hope it works for everyone else. If not, right, there's so much space. So even though there is a prompt, an affirmation at the top, like then after, write your own affirmation, or write what you were feeling after you read that prompt. And so, yeah.
What made you get into writing? Have you always been a writer?
I have been writing since second grade. There was a writing contest, and I entered, and I don't remember if I won or not, but maybe because I do remember a ribbon, but I don't remember like a place or anything. But and also I there was a time where I lived with my grandmother, and I was, well, my aunt and then myself. I'm the only females in the home, but right, it's my aunt, so she was older than me. And then it was all my uncles. And so there was just so much that I have seen and experienced at a young age. And I always had paper around. My grandmother had a daycare. So I was always creating different things and expressing myself some way artistically. And so I used to just sit in my room and I just started writing. Like I just at a young age, like I needed to get some things out. And so, yeah, I've been writing for such a long time. I've seen a lot and been through a lot. So, I mean, like the unhealthy way was I would honestly like just Indian style on my bed and like bang my head against the wall, and like that wasn't healthy. And so then it was like, yeah, no, sis, you need to focus more on writing. That's the healthy way, right? Now I could put the language to it. But yeah, so I've been writing since second grade.
That's dope. And what you just brought up, it triggered a thought in me because whenever people say they've gone through a lot at a young age, as a person who's gone through a lot at a young age, it took me back, right? It took me back to different places because I used to just sit there and just be like, "This is crazy," and I
Right.
never like, "Is this happening?" Like, and I never had a way. I never thought of a way to put it down somewhere. So the fact that you channeled this behavior into this is phenomenal from the gate. And I hope the people are watching this who may be going through something or have gone through something that don't know what to do with that energy. You can put it into something like writing, drawing. You don't have to be a Picasso. You don't have
Right.
to be, Audrey Lorde, but you
Hmm.
have to do something because the latter isn't an option.
And something positive, something that's going to, to help you heal and, you know, um, help you identify the things that you need to work on so you can have healthy results, um, by changing your behavior and getting into whether it's painting, drawing, or, whatever it is that you want to do to express yourself and, release.
And another prompt on that note, I will I will observe life through my own lens. I do not always have the same vision as others, and that's okay.
Mm,
And that is one thing that we have to, that goes back to the one about grace. Like, we're not always going to agree, and that other cliche, we have to agree to disagree. Um, it it's prevalent, not prevalent, but it makes sense. But also, it helps us um, not to judge ourselves and each other
mhm,
so much. Like, just respect that how somebody's not going to do it the same way you do it. It's going to be different. And also that we are all unique in what we
mm,
do and what everybody has to bring. That's why I love, like, the sun, let your light shine through. Everyone's journey is different. The journey is not the same. And like, my personal prayer is for us to, like, become to an understanding about that as a race together. So
mm,
because we got enough stuff out here to be fighting against
mhm,
collectively. Like, we
mhm.
on all this other end stuff. But we're gonna move on to your poetry book now. Now we want everybody to get the journal. We ain't giving up all the prompts. Get the journal.
Yes.
Okay. Um, we're gonna put son's information in our on our webpage, but you can find her. You can find Black Girls of Sunshine on Instagram, Poet Son on Instagram,
Mhm.
Facebook. Don't act like y'all don't know how to find somebody.
Right. If you want to find somebody, you can.
Right. So I think Shy has some poems.
I did. I do. So
From the prompts to the poetry.
and they all really align together.
And I have
Um,
to say, this is good. This is good material. This
Very
feel
much so.
good. This feel
This is
good.
not a hard T-shirt. It's not one of the
No,
T-shirts you get on the school field trip so they can see that you
no.
all are from the same spot.
School field
this is
trip.
a this is a good shirt.
You
It's
see this
soft.
color
th-
orange is
It's
vibrant.
bright. This
The
is not
blue.
gonna come off. They did not, tape this down. This is a good shirt. This is a good bag. I've had a dog in this bag, a computer, food. It's everything she got is durable. But
It's
the
worth the price to
mhm.
pay for it, people, because I'm all believer in
Yes.
pay the people.
Pay the people, support the people.
That's how you support. Don't go ask it. Oh, girl, I know you. We known each other since fourth grade, girl. You
Right,
know,
and if you know her, you should pay her price. If
Exactly.
anybody should be paying it, it should be you.
even if you
And my
related.
money go back into the community. Listen.
Exactly.
So the first poem I wanted us to look at because the first line jumped out at me. Now, I can read it, but if you want to read it, that's cool too. I just
Yes, absolutely. You want me to read the first line or the whole poem? I'll read the whole poem.
the whole one. I'm looking
So,
at 32.
30, 32 or 31. Okay, so I'm somewhere else. All right. Maintenance of self.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And this is It Happened Within the Sun. Okay. We are on page 32. Maintenance of self. Self efficacy is more than a chore, it must be instilled within me. My emotional experiences help me to explore the true concept of me. I had to identify my fear, but first I had to address being in denial. Before suicidal thoughts digested in my mind, I discovered logical life paradigms to assist with managing my traumatic events. I embrace the diversity that's incorporated in me. I look forward to accomplishing my dreams, becoming knowledgeable of all I've seen, things I've done, my stressors that cause pain, creating an atmosphere that describes me. Thanks for being part of my constellation. Maintenance of self.
I don't know if that made y'all tingle, but it made me tingle.
Was that a tambourine?
No, that was a small dog with a collar. But
Listen, the collar came right on time.
it was the claps. It was the claps from everyone in the house. But the back to this first line, I feel like this first line is a charge. Self
Mm,
efficiency is more than a chore; it must be instilled within me. It shows you that this is a lifestyle. Checking on yourself and being in tune with yourself is a lifestyle. When you go, you want to start eating healthy. If you work out, it's day to day. It's every
mhm,
day. It's an infusion. It's not necessarily like I'm gonna do this for 12 days and then I'm gonna
right.
look completely different. No, that's not true. It has to be something that is a part of you continuously. And
Mhm,
it spoke to me when I read it because I think sometimes we forget that. I'm gonna use the I statements. I forget that this is every day. It's not one day.
mhm. And the dedication, the time that, we put into, right, going to the gym and picking out our outfits and, right, all of the things, but also knowing and understanding yourself, right? That takes time. And so it's not, right, it's not a 6 week program, a 12-week program. It's day to day. It's a process and it's a journey. But you have to be committed to doing so, and um take time doing that. Allow yourself that grace to make mistakes, um to figure out the things that you like, that you dislike, the things that trigger you, things that make you happy, things and environments that welcome, who you are and celebrate who you are. There's so much to learn about ourselves, our behaviors. And so, yeah, that first line is definitely like it's more than a chore. It's more than just washing the dishes and putting them away. This it's an everyday thing, and you gotta take the time out to do so.
And it's valuable time. It's time that like you have to sow into yourself. It's not time
Hmm.
wasted. You think about the time we spend doing other things. Like you have to spend some time with yourself. You have to cut out some time for yourself. If you got to wake up earlier, even if you I'll be finding time in the bathroom. I feel like the bathroom
Yeah.
is a sacred place. The bathroom is a sacred place. The old head used to tell me that's where their prayer room was in the
Hmm.
bathroom.
Listen,
Put
that
it
is
in
the
your
place.
car. Get a spot.
I
Get
even write pieces in like for transparency. Like, listen, I done wrote some pieces in the bathroom.
it's totally safe. I'm with you. Let's see. Um, and then directly next to it is self crushing, and then that also the first line, the first two lines, really the whole poem, but this first 4 lines, five, that's the whole poem for me.
It's the whole poem for me. um, self crushing. Hmm. Mm. I had to save my soul. That required me to get naked, to taste my own juices, to pull my mask off, switch the music up in my head, spin on my sorrow, trash the self torment, curb the criticism of myself. I had to submit to myself. I had to bring out my creative side, broaden myself within my culture. But who am I anyway? And what is my purpose? What's going to keep me going? Before staring at my soul, I had to break bread with my mind, my body, and my soul. I couldn't take any 6 days or FMLA. I had to address the adversity. I had to love myself more, know my worth, and dedicate my days to removing the dirt off my brain. Removing the dirt off my brain.
Ife,
Okay.
I heard your woo girl in the house, but would you like to share it with the group?
Okay. Removing, say the last line again.
Removing the dirt off my brain.
Okay. Okay. The essence of that. Can we talk about the essence of that, please? Because I like to know inspiration behind the writing. Because there's so many things, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I mean that also goes back and right, and I feel like most of like these pieces are definitely connected, and it goes back to um where we were talking about allowing ourselves grace, right? We beat up on ourselves oftentimes, right? Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm not pretty enough. I'm not doing this right. Or this person has a house at 35 and I'm still in my apartment. Well, that's not your story, so remove all of that negative thinking, remove that because that's not going to help you function and navigate in the way that is designed for you. So remove all of that and focus on you. Like that's dirt, right? um and so remove that off of your brain, remove that out of your self-talk. Talk to yourself more positively and be more kind and extend that grace to yourself. That's doing you harm, so remove that off the brain. What is for you is for you. And so, we have to stop, especially like right the day of social media. It's like, oh, they have that. Okay, that's cool. You know, um, but also be grateful and thankful for your struggle, for the things that you do have, for the things seen and unseen. It's all right, it's coming. But don't talk bad to yourself. Pour into yourself with positivity. Don't add in the dirt, add in joy. Don't destruct yourself. Don't, destroy um you are with those negative things. And so, yeah, that's what's behind removing the dirt off of my brain, the negative thinking. Just remove it. Don't do it. It's not good because it's not healthy.
I've been muting myself. Thank you. Thank you. So son, what's a I'd like you to select something that you're in the moment that is coming to you. I'm trying to keep my black girls of sunshine
Wait,
face.
before we go to the next poem,
Okay.
this is 20 this whole poem on page 33 when you all get the book and you can read it. It's 20 lines and to me these are like 20 steps that
Mm.
could be implemented to one. And I think the first one is very important. I had to save my soul. The first step of saving you is you. You have to make that decision. You have the ball in your court of what you want to do with your life and your soul. I just wanted to point that part out before we moved on to the next one.
Hold on now. Wait, so we said I'm picking one.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go with Lauren to Sun. It's kind of long. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Sha has me on this first line thing, and so I love the first line to this. And a theme in this poetry collection is right, discovering yourself and tapping into your power. Um, Lauren to Sun can be found on page 25, and that goes up to page 28. I'm not going to read all that, but so yes, Lauren to Sun. You have to be your closest friend. Everything was changing around me. I knew it was time to lead in the right direction. Righteousness was embedded in me. It was so evident, so apparent. I had to change with the time. I energized my soul. I let shit go and became sun. I put pieces together, I sobered up and lifted myself from the darkness. Um, And I have a letter to my brother in here, but so when I lost my brother, he was 19, um, and we're talking about changing behaviors. I was trying to find a message in a bottle, and right, talking about unhealthy behaviors. That was not healthy, and so I had to, you know, put pieces back together. I had to sober up, and I had to lift myself up out of that darkness. And so that's why this line is put pieces together. I sobered up and lifted myself from the darkness. And also losing my brother, I'm like, you know, he lost his life at 19, but I'm still here. And so I have to be my full and whole self because he doesn't, you know, now have the chance to do so. So what I look like, you know, staying in this funk and in this darkness. So um, you know, I had to get it together, which I did. Tell myself the truth. I needed to see myself in a higher place, open my mind, and become wise. I took chances, agreeing to disagree with my moods, right? Learning to understand my ups and downs, my lows and my highs. I challenged my thoughts. I was eager to see what was on the other side. That's of me being, you know, stepping into my full and organic self, um, to find the positivity in any circumstances. I wanted to live life with no regrets, no self judgment, knowing I was the prize elevating past the sky. See, I already been around the solar system in the midst of it. Or it was the sun that cured me. So I became the sun.
Okay. First, oh, we didn't mention that we talked about the journal initially. Now we switched to Son's poetry book. Could you hold it up, Sha? And okay, so that's another. She got another book to buy. Buy it. Okay, the poetry book. Oh gosh, I am. Wait a minute, because I'm reading a poem from it, like right now. No, I lost it. But the poetry book is. It happened with the sun. When did you write the poetry book? Like that came out
Um,
like
this was in 2019.
okay, and that was a wonderful. I must say, you did a great book signing, introduction, and all that. And now I'm finding this poem. Oh, self diagnosis. Thank you,
Yeah.
baby. Self diagnosis.
What page
This
is self diagnosis?
um I have it.
20. 20.
Yes. Can we hear some of that from you?
Absolutely. And I actually do come from a clinical background, uh, community counseling and human services, but yes, self-diagnosis. Seeing entails more than a vision. I may look healthy. I may have a physical deformity. Diagnosed with pain, my facial expressions are scared. Looking in the mirror, it appears to be fractured with ruptured self esteem. Everything is driving me insane. Concentrating with so many problems on my plate is hard. It's hard. Stressing, it can't be healthy. I can't eat until my issues becomes obsolete. I decline help because I don't want to speak. I adjusted to the pain and became comfortable with the roadblocks. I feel like a full time employee of the pain factory.
A full time employee
Of the pain factory.
of the pain factory. Girl, like I can relate to that on so many so many levels because it's about like our um feeling like you putting up a facade,
Hmm.
right? Like like son, your I want to say your work is self-reflecting and healing and doing this work and being inspired. um it's a combination of, oh gosh, um I'm ranting and so shy because this poem just took me someplace.
Yep. So we're back at these one lines. This first line in the beginning, seeing entails more than vision. Can you break that down for the people? Because I just don't want to hit them with you got to see it to see it.
You gotta see it to believe it. Um, And okay, so seeing entails more than the vision, right? What you can see with your eyes. You can also, I feel, and nothing that I say is law, right? But you can also see with your heart, right? Your body, because we go into situations, I guess I could break it down this way. We go into situations where we know we may not feel comfortable, right? So we see those with our eyes, and then we start to get aches in our body, right? So then our body is now seeing and feeling that this wasn't the environment. This wasn't the environment for me. Also, we when we look in the mirror, right, we look in checking our eyebrows, right, anything on our face. Um, but it's deeper than that. It's deeper than just that reflection to, the outer, right? So seeing entails, also that internal work that we need to do. Because we may not see it when we just look in the mirror. You're not going to see that you need to change your attitude, or you need to spend more time journaling, or um, taking more time out to commit to your self-care, or your communication skills, or whatever it may be. It tells more than the vision, and all right, seeing and hearing and feeling, all of those things are connected.
And the second line, like, too, for me, I may look healthy, but I have a physical deformity. Because we can dress it up. We
Mm-hmm.
can beat our face and do our
Mm-hmm.
hair and
Put on our
put
lipstick.
on our lipstick and be someplace. Because I know, can I say amen for
Go
me?
ahead and testify.
Okay. I've been there, being all dressed up and kikiing and having a
Mhm.
whole world inside me, around me,
Mhm.
falling apart, and we have to keep it together. And that's another thing, again, as Black women,
Mhm.
the strong Black women that, you know, we got to keep up appearances. And then in the meantime, things are happening because we're
Mhm.
holding it in, or taking it all in, or doing it all for everyone. And then our physical deformities are like things, like in manifest in your body, in your
Mhm.
health
Mhm.
and wellness.
Mhm.
So like getting it out again, getting it out, like between this book and the journal. There's got to be some heal. It will kill us. Like Sue
Mhm.
Hampton just put it on. Thank you for watching us on Facebook. Said it will kill us. Holding it in.
Yes.
We could dress it up all we want to. There are so many. There's times when, over the years, that there's so many beautiful, beautiful women that you see, but they don't smile, or they can't smile, or they're like always looking like hard. Like, what is that? That's internal.
Mhm.
That's some internal stuff. And sometimes we can't take that personally with somebody. When we see somebody, every time we see them, they just looking like, because, they may have not done a self-diagnosis
Right.
to assess their pain. They just carry
Mhm.
it. And we got
Mhm.
to recognize it because, like this other line says, it appears to be a fractured posture with ruptured self-esteem. That is real, real. And sometimes that manifests in people that we have to interact with or work with, or our fellow sisters. Oh my gosh.
And I thought
Stressing.
that. Mhm.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go finish your thought.
I was gonna say stressing can't be healthy. Everything is driving me insane. Hell, girl, whoo, that somebody got to be reading that and be like, oh, what? It's like preaching. Good shot.
Oh, what had came to mind while we were discussing this is pride. It just
Mhm.
it just kind of came in my mind like we can't let pride stop us from getting this healing that we're talking
Mhm.
about, from doing this self diagnosis. There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing
Right.
to be like, oh, this can't happen to me. Anything can happen to you. And why not you? We're
Mhm.
all at that will of the universe and of God that great things can happen to us and shitty things can happen to us in the same time, and they can also happen at the same time. So I just encourage people, don't let pride get in your way. Don't let your feelings of, you don't want anybody to know, or as we say
Mhm.
in a lot of households, what happens in here stays in here. That's dangerous. That is dangerous, as we all know, and it passes on to generations. Don't let the I stop those who come after you from having to deal with something that you didn't rectify. Because if you don't rectify it, it will still have to get rectified. If not through you, then through your grandchildren.
Mhm.
It'll bleed out of your house.
And this line that says, I decline help because I don't want to speak. I adjusted to the pain and became comfortable with the roadblocks. It's like, baby, release that shit.
But that's what we do, right? We go back and forth with, you know, should I get a therapist? Should I talk to my friend about it? Um, or not even being truthful with ourselves, right? That we have some things that we need to get out, and also knowing that it's okay to ask for help. Um, and also I think Sha, said, it was mentioned that it was, dangerous to hold it in. And also I always go back to, right, in most households, if I may, we're learned to tie our shoes, ride bikes, cook, and all of those things. Who sat down and said, you know, um, this is what healing looks like? Everyone's journey is not going to be different. These are some of the steps that you can take to heal, right? Because when we fall, bruise or cut our knee or something, right, we clean it up, the band-aid. But the work that we need to do, yeah, we can't just put a band-aid on that. And so, yeah, don't keep it inside. Definitely, get it out. Don't think that because you're, used to having battles or hard times, that it's always going to be like that, or this is, the only life for you, because you have the power to change it, and your life can be exactly what you want it to be. Manifest it, write about it in your journal, speak those things, and do the things that you need to do to take care of yourself. You don't have to keep it inside. um, if it's not comfortable for you, you don't have to adjust to it, but make sure you are always taking care of yourself and doing what feels good to your mind, body, spirit, and soul. And you're always showing up as you, because you can't be nobody else. I know, we have these idols and role models, and, you know, um, people on TV and things that we look up to, but that's their life. Focus on you, dedicate your time to focusing on you so you can be the best version of yourself, and don't keep it in.
We also have to, um, sort of, again, I was like, reflect, like, recognize that in other people. Sometimes I had to learn that the hard way.
Mhm. Mhm.
The hard way. Um, because there's some things I, whew, that you take personally, and it's about somebody dealing with their not dealing with
Yeah,
their stuff.
yes, it will roll over onto you, and then don't be your stuff. It be their stuff because they ain't worked through it.
You have to be careful of the osmosis effect and who's
Yes.
around you. It will
Hmm.
seep
Yes.
like
and
with
and
all.
keep
And
that.
have you questioning yourself, like, like, wait, am I? But they be like, nah, you know what? Mm-mm, that ain't even for me.
Mm-mm.
That ain't for me. That isn't about me.
And
That's
when you
about them and their stuff.
say folks that look at, like, don't look at the celebrities and their lives like the Real Housewives of everywhere or whoever, the Caucasians, whoever, sometimes we have people within our communities that we like, oh, they look like they got it together. They got this, they
Mhm.
got that. They may be
Mhm.
going bankrupt. They
Mhm.
may have like all kinds of stuff. And a lot of times people don't realize too, and exposing yourself and sometimes saying like I was saying earlier, was like what one of those things what happens in this house stays in this house. Well, it's
Mhm.
happening next door too. It's
Mhm.
happening across the street. It's
Mhm.
happening, and sometimes
Wow.
once whatever's going on is shared, you'd be surprised how many people like, woo, you too?
Mhm.
Oh my God. And you find some um help or some at least some apathy in that and knowing
Mhm.
that there are some other people going through that. Just
Yes.
knowing that you ain't the only one going through it, that
Mhm.
is helpful.
And that's why also too I think it's important for us to share our story, right? So we won't, well, hopefully, we won't just think everyone else is living this life of roses and, whatever. But that everyone has a story, everyone has a struggle. And if we share it, it's like, okay, I'm not the only one that's, going through this. And then also, right, you might find a friend in that person and may be able to, talk to them, connect with them, find resources, whatever it is. But I think it's very important to, share our story. And that's why I give so much of myself because I want people to know, right? Like, everything ain't butterflies and sunflowers over here. Like, listen, and we know how to make it look good, right? But listen, sis got a story and a struggle, but I appreciate that. And it's been a part of my journey and it has helped me to become a better version of me. So I'm grateful and thankful for my story and my struggle.
And I want to say we thank you because the books, It Happened with the Sun and this journal book are 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 ways to help people on their road to healing and to understand that it's okay not to be okay.
Okay, yes.
It is okay not to be okay because the reality of it is like at the end of the day, you want to, if you're moving to healing, you don't want to live in the pain.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Hmm.
Don't sit there. Don't get stuck in it.
It's dangerous, especially with the holiday season coming and being upon us. It's fabulous for a lot of folks, but it's also a terrible time for a lot of folks. So
For me.
please, if it if it's not the best time for you, please take everything that we've said here and use it as seeds to sow into yourself so that you may have a good harvest during this time.
Mhm.
It don't got to be like last year. It don't got to be like every other. This could be the best year that you've had in a long time. We're transparent here. This is the first time my family will have a Christmas. We were having people die back to back to back. It was quiet. It wasn't a damn ornament nowhere. It wasn't a candy cane. You couldn't find it. It wasn't no black Santas no more. It was a wrap. But now
Mhm.
we've decided that we have to. So don't do it this year. Make this year a bit better for yourself. It don't got to be how it's always been. It could be
Mhm.
exactly what you want it to be.
And
That's
when
exactly why also this came out during this time because I have seasonal depression. And yeah, so I lost my brother in December, and he came home in October. So there's a whole long story behind my seasonal depression. But that's why I said this year is going to look different. And so this is also why this affirmation journal dropped during this time, because I needed to look different and feel different. And so yeah, speaking over myself and, over this seasonal depression. And yeah,
Well, we want to thank you, thank you for us so enriching us with the show this evening and exposing us. But get the merchandise. This these they feel good.
The
Okay,
lovely bag.
all of this make
okay,
you feel good. That's
all of
what
it.
it's about.
Spread the sunshine.
Reflection, writing, feeling beautiful. Yes, they all go together.
And we want to thank you for tuning in tonight to another Elm City Lit Fest, a celebration of literature, literary arts, and literary artists of the African diaspora. We are here for you. Okay. Blessings, everyone. Get through the season. Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, son.